Good morning, students. This lesson is of class 8th for the subject of History, Chapter 9, India's Freedom Struggle, the first phase, which we will continue from page number 100 of your textbook, titled Past and Present 8, and is being submitted to you on 21st December 2020. This voice is of Millie Bhatnagar. Before we begin this lecture, let us first revise whatever we had studied in earlier lectures. The British rule created discontentment among the Indians. As a result, early political associations were set up in different regions. Indian National Congress was formed in 1885. The early nationalists dominated the Congress for the first 20 years. They were moderate in their methods and objectives. The failure of the early nationalists resulted in the formation of a new group of assertive nationalists led by Lal, Bal and Pal. Students, this is an image of the early nationalist Dadabhai Naroji, Surendranath Banerjee and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. And this is an image of the assertive nationalist Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal. The assertive nationalists were in favor of more radical objectives and methods, such as strikes, boycotts, and mass demonstrations. In 1905, the partition of Bengal took place. It gave rise to Swadeshi and boycott movement. Swadeshi literally means of one's own country. It aimed at promotion of indigenous industries for strengthening the nation. According to Lala Lajpat Rai, the Swadeshi movement ought to make us self-respecting, self-reliant, self-supporting. Boycott movement meant abstaining from the purchase of British goods. The call for Swadeshi and boycott was given at public meetings in Bengal and in most of the major cities and towns of India. The British goods were burnt at public places and shops selling them were picketed. In response, the British government banned processions and meetings, curbed the newspapers by vigorous press laws, and imprisoned the leaders of the movement without trial. This is an image of the Surat session of the Congress, where the split between the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists took place. Surat split of 1907. There were differences between the early nationalist and the assertive nationalist on the issue of Swadeshi and boycott. Nevertheless, they sank their differences and passed a resolution at the Calcutta session in 1906, condemning the partition of Bengal. There was also a disagreement over the candidature of the next president. Finally, Dadabhai Naoroji, who was respected by both the groups, became the president. The differences between the two groups, however, continued. In 1907 session at Surat, the assertive nationalist proposed the name of Lala Lajpat Rai as the president. The early nationalists proposed the name of Raj Bihari Ghosh. This led to the split in the Congress, and the assertive nationalist leaders were expelled. The two groups reunited in the Lucknow session of the Congress in 1916. Let us take a short break. You are requested to kindly pause this recording for 3 to 4 minutes after listening carefully to the questions and write the answers in your notebooks. Question number 1. What is the meaning of Swadeshi? Question number 2. What happened in 1907 session of Congress at Surat? Question number 3. When and in which session did the early and the assertive nationalists reunite? Let us discuss the answers now. Answer number 1. Swadeshi literally means of one's own country. Answer number 2. There was a split between the early nationalist and the assertive nationalist, and the latter decided to function from outside. Answer number 3. In 1916, Lucknow session of the Congress. Students, this is an image of Viceroy Lord Minto and Secretary of State Lord Morley. Also known as Indian Councils Act and named after Viceroy Lord Minto and Secretary of State Morley, this act increased the number of members in the Central Legislative Council and the Provincial Legislative Councils. In order to create a division between the Hindus and the Muslims, a system of separate electorates was introduced. The Muslims were grouped into separate constituencies from where only a Muslim candidate could contest elections. Have you heard the name of V.D. Savarkar, Lala Hardayal, and Khudiram Bose? These were revolutionaries. The revolutionary movement was more active in Bengal, Punjab, and Maharashtra. These revolutionaries wanted to expel or throw out the British from India. For this purpose, secret societies like Abhinav Bharat Society and Anushilan Samiti were formed. The revolutionaries assassinated officials of the British government. The Chapekar brothers assassinated two unpopular British officials in Maharashtra. Some revolutionaries were active from outside India, like Lala Hardayal, Shyamji Krishna Varma, Madam Bikaji Kama. Students, this is an image of Shyamji Krishna Varma. The British took all steps to suppress the revolutionary activities, as Khudiram Bose was hanged when he threw a bomb at Kingsford, the district judge. We will study more about the revolutionaries in the next chapter. Home assignment. Quick quiz. Page 101. Answer in 1 or 2 sentences. 8, 9 and 10. Answer these questions. 5, 6, 7, ABC. With this, we end this interactive session. Thank you.